Good morning, everyone. I woke up nice and early today, and I've had a wonderful day so far. Not a very manly day, I must say. I've been listening to Kate Bush, this woman's work, on repeat for like an hour or so, and I figured it was probably about time I should film an episode. So hi, I hope everyone's doing alright today. You're obviously not going to see this episode for a while, actually, because I'm now like 3 ahead, kind of, sort of. Well, no, 2 ahead, really. And that's just going to get further and further away, so I guess I'm saying goodbye to you in a weird way. Anyway, I haven't really made much fanfare about this, I suppose. This is the last quest of part 2 of Winds of Change. Yeah, what a shocker. There are 3 parts, of course, so there's going to be another one. This does mean that after this, we're going to go and see the side quests that were introduced with part 2. You might remember I've said before there were no side quests introduced with part 3, which is funny, but they decided not to do that. And we can also have another session looking at more dialogues. Now, do you remember earlier when I was Let's Playing this, I went outside Kaineng and I was like, oh no, massive spoilers, massive spoilers. That was actually a dialogue to do with the Tengu and what's happening with the Tengu that we've now seen. So hopefully I can go back and show you that, but I'm a little bit worried that these dialogues, because I saw it that one time when I didn't want to see it, it might only trigger the once and I might not be able to see it again, which is a shame because that's not going to be the kind of dialogue I can just read from the wiki for you, because there's a proper protest going on and lots of NPCs and actually something to look at. Anyway, right, enough of that. We'll see all that next episode and moving forward. But yesterday we got our quest from Saw, and she's all the way out in Airy, so I just grabbed it and we're going to read the dialogue here, which we didn't do at the end of the last episode. So Saw, let's just imagine we're there at the Airy, and Saw speaking to us by the fireside. She says, that old fool, speaking about the Rylan Greyfeather that we saved last episode, that old fool will be the death of us all. It seems Greyfeather has gone back to Jaya Bluffs for some absurd reason. I can't possibly guess why, since everyone on that side of the island wants us dead. But last we saw, that's where he was heading. You seem quite adept at tracking that idiot down. Well, yeah, I get these magical green markers. Don't you get those? Would you mind fetching him for me again? This time we'll make sure to tie him to something when he returns. So the stupid retard's gone off and got himself caught somewhere. So we're going to go find him. Luckily, you don't really have to track him very far. You just walk straight down to Jaya Bluffs. And what do you know, he's right there, so you don't really have to look too far. And this is because, being the last quest, it is kind of a little bit more difficult. A lot of people didn't like the difficulty of part 1 of Winds of Change. It's funny because everyone on the forums, you know how they say, like, people on the forums, there's just 1% really of everyone who plays the game, and the people on the forums tend to be the bigger fans anyway. So everyone on the forums before Winds of Change came out was crying that they wanted it to be really hard, and they really enjoyed how difficult Warring Crichton, particularly the Battle for Lion's Arch, was. So that affected ArenaNet. All they were really hearing from the fans was, oh yeah, make it hard. So they did part 1 of Winds of Change, and then the forums were just filled with people who specifically went there to bitch about how difficult it was, and things got nerfed. So with part 2, it was always easier from the off. So this last quest isn't going to be a really long, annoying slog through a giant Jade Brotherhood stronghold as it was before. For some reason my left hand's like numb. Anyway, yeah, so it's not going to be really difficult, but they do position him here so that if you do fail it, you can just kind of run back out and try again. So, yeah, let's speak to him. How's it going, Ryan? I do love the way these guys look. Look at these medallions. What a boss. He says, have you noticed how in Guild Wars 2 they're like a lot skinnier as well? They're a lot more slender. I like the new design though. It's pretty cool. Anyway, he says, I'm wondering how different the different tribes are going to be though. I can't wait to see like a Quetzal in Guild Wars 2, but I'm pretty sure there won't be any there in launch. Anyway, it seems that everyone is the enemy of the Angchu tribe these days. We're not. A treaty's a treaty. Easy, friend. I did not come here for a battle. Right, what are you doing? I've been thinking about what you said about me endangering my people with my foolish actions, and I wanted to make amends for my transgressions. I'm old and wise enough to know when I've made a mistake. Oh, okay. I've been listening to the Sinsali from afar for any talk of an attack on our village, so you're scouting, pretty much. They don't seem to be planning to attack the Angchu, but they have been working to lure the Ministry of Purity to the east side of the island. I heard one of them mention Sumai village, which makes me think that their forces on this side of the island are a decoy, and that the bulk of their forces plan to attack Sumai village on the west side. Brilliant. With the Ministry of Purity forces here, the village will be defenseless. We must warn them. There's no telling how soon they'll strike. I know a faster route to that side of the island. Speak with me when you're ready to travel to Sumai. I can take you there, but I fear the villagers won't take kindly to me joining their battle. I'm ready to travel. Do you know what I always kind of joke about in my head when I read this? Like, he talks about this faster route, mysterious route across the island, and the only thing I can think of is if, like, he were to somehow make us fly there. So I get the feeling that if I was actually, like, here in Tyria speaking to this guy right now, I'd probably make some cocky remark about how he can't fly and probably piss him off. himself. Anyway, yeah, so you speak to him, you zone over to Sumai, and this quest always reminds me of something that I'll talk about in a bit, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a reference or not, but I always think it is. Anyway, so we're here, and Captain Yonghai says, "Thank the six you've arrived. There are so many Sinsali amassing out there. I would have been happy to see the Ministry of Purity show up." "Whoa there, let's not get carried away," says the guard. "Stow it, soldier. So are you the only ones who have come to help?" And we say, "Unfortunately, yes, but if we band together, we should be able to survive this attack." "You're right, Yonghai, how's it going?" "Well, it looks like we're about to find out. To arms, men, to arms!" "We'll show you what we're capable," he says. That's Zinji. What does Yonghai say? "Hold fast, we fight for our lives." We get a load of guards. Hold fast, fight for our lives. Now, as you might know, Sumai Village has actually got two entrances. This isn't like the quest in Winds of Change or the mission. I'm not really sure what to call those anymore, really. Like the mini mission quest in not Winds of Change, sorry, in Hearts of the North, where you're like defending. Oh shit, what's it called? Shit. Why is that? Nibu Terrace, was it? No, it's Beetleton, isn't it? Yeah, it's Beetleton. But when you're defending there, it's not like that where they're going to attack from either side. It is literally all from one side. Now, this is an interesting fact because it means that you're constantly going to be running out through this door. Now, you know that kind of weird thing that I said that ArenaNet started to do? The fact that my skills have now changed is throwing me off. You know that thing that ArenaNet have started to do where they teleport you back into the realm? Like the region of the quest? Well, that happens here. So if you walk too far away, you're told that you must not abandon the village and you have to come back. And the way it's set up where they're all attacking over there, you'll just slowly extend further and further and further out of the place. And it can get annoying. So just be careful about that. I would suggest flagging people apart for two reasons. Not just because it means that your group's always going to stay back here, but also, and that you see the temptation is that you want to move forward because Zinji and that might die or whatever, but I think they respawn anyway because they're going to extend forward regardless. They won't obey your flags. So I would just still stay back, not just because of the reason that eventually you'll be at a situation where you're fighting them all the way back there and they can come in at some inopportune angles for you and stuff like that. Two, because this actually serves as a really nice choke point, this gate, if you can get people to come here. Obviously minions make it a little bit more difficult as well, but hey, they'll die and then they will come back at any time anyway. And three, the Sinsali use panic, so just being flagged out is a good idea anyway, because it will just help you with the panic immensely. You've got the Angchu have come here, so we've got some Angchu forces with us. Are people speaking? Yeah. So this is what it reminds me of. Does this sound familiar to anyone? So you get some allies here. You're completely outnumbered. You're in your fortification. You think you're gonna die, and then a surprise ally comes, and they say, "We are here to honor our alliance. Should you have us? Should we have you? Yes, by the gods, yes." They say. Sorry. Just before that we say, wait, those aren't Sinsali, it's the Angchu. Oh shit, and before that, Yonghai said, "The Sinsali take no prisoners, there is no hope for us for survival. Slay as many as you can before we fall." See, you think it's a suicide mission, right? Now, does that remind you guys of anything at all? And then, should I mention... Okay, I think this is... I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a reference to it, but I think this is like Helm's Deep. I really do. Oh, by the way, I think the Sinsali also use Aura of the Lich, which is why you will notice I have added Veritar's Aura once again onto my Minion Master. So we can just start taking all of those minions when and as we need to. But yeah, I think this is like Helm's Deep. It seems to set up so much like that. And it's not really a massive spoiler, but the Ministry of Purity are going to come as well from the north. And it just reminds me of Helm's Deep there as well. At that point, I probably shouldn't be so far out. I'm well out of range of my characters. See what I mean? How it just slowly pushes the fight further and further out, even if you're flagged back like this. So, and Rylan's fighting with us, by the way. And that reminds me of like when Gandalf comes down with the Riders of Rohan as well, even though the allegiances are slightly different on this. So I don't know. That's what it always reminded me of anyway. I don't know whether it is a reference. I didn't even look on Wiki before playing this, really. Oh, did I? Oh, no, I did look on Wiki, but I can't remember reading anything like that. So, but yeah, anyway, that's shit. Am I in res range? See, this is the problem with this. Just don't grow impatient. When me and Mike completed this, the interesting thing that happened with us was this actual defense encounter was really easy. It was fine. It was not a difficult thing to do at all. I'm gonna just have to start microing this, aren't I? Is that actually working, or is he too far away? I'm not sure. Master of Whispers, are you too far away from the minions, buddy? Are you all right? Where are you? I don't know how close he has to be. Does it have to be like in the area? Is that an in the area skill? Let's have a look. Shit. Stop with the effects. Yeah, in the area become bounty. Well, that's a little bit annoying. See, it's not as effective as you'd think it would be. You'd have to flag right forward if you really wanted that to be good. Anyway, right, so more dialogue, sorry. Lots more dialogue. We're here to honour our alliance. Should we have you? Yes, by the gods, yes. And then we say, hold fast, we fight for our lives. Protect the civilians, our numbers dwindle. Hold the line, use the choke point to our advantage. See, even your character suggests that. Yonghei says, away from them, cowards. Pick on someone your own size. Your death will not be in vain. Push them back. So I don't know who's dying. I guess just more guards and more things. Actually, I think when me and Mike did this, not many of the NPCs died at all, but we did still fail the quest, and the defense encounter does go on for quite a while, so it was very annoying, but actually there's quite an easy technique to deal with it, which I've kind of already shown you guys before, so we'll get to that when we do. And really, this is the whole quest. Is there anything else for me to talk about? I keep finding myself asking this. The thing is, where I'm doing like 2 episodes a day now, it's like I don't have much news for you. There is this guy, I was talking about this on Twitter. Everybody seems to think it's kind of set in stone. I think I might have given the wrong impression. But somebody, I keep getting people contacting me about partnerships lately. It keeps happening. And somebody else has, who I was talking to. It probably won't happen though, because they're not Machinima, but I think if I went for this partnership, it would somehow involve Machinima. And I was really open with the guys. I was like, well look, I've heard horror stories about partnering with Machinima. I don't really want to do that. Sorry, I should really stop this speech. Right, more stuff's happening. We say, we've done it, we've pushed them back, and Zinji says, look off in the distance, it's the Ministry of Purity. How timely. We should flee, brother, there are too few of us to. That's what the Angchu say. The Ministry are charging in here. So there are still Angchu here, and we know that the Ministry hate the Angchu. Master of Whispers, by the way. You want to flag your minion monster right into the middle of them, just like we did before. And Ryan says, I do not intend to fight them. Fight! You're the heroes of the day! Just wait, once they know the truth. And then Baiichi says, step away from those beasts and the traitors. We're here to protect your village from their nefarious plot. Yeah, you're a little bit late, mate. Bugger off. So, we've got these guys stood here and Yonghei here. And he says, actually, they saved us, thanks. The Angchu are not our enemies. They... Silence, Imperial dog! We have suspected your involvement in the Tengu insurrection, and this only proves our suspicions. Where is Ryan? Where is everyone? I can't quite see, actually. They speak the truth. The Angchu saved us. This must be a trick, says Baiichi. So Ryan runs forward. He says, this is no trick. I extend my hand in peace, says Ryan. And dun-dun-dun! That's so shit. I hate the way that happens. They kill Ryan. Ryan's dead. Yeah, he was always destined to die, but he made another minion for us. Thanks very much. Down he goes, instantly by Baiichi. Back, beast, he screams. You killed him! He attacked me. You all saw it. Enough of this. Arrest them all. Oh yes, it was charging at me, the same old saying. So yeah, that kind of happens there. All my minions are flagged in there. The Ministry of Purity have been nice enough to cast Death Nova on all of them, and now they will all blow up, hopefully. And we've got they're all nice and balled up. They'll be kept in that ball because of the minions. And this will help you to knock out this group of Ministry, hopefully as quickly as possible. Your Minion Master will probably die, as you can see there. Master of Whispers did die there. I was surprised he didn't die last time we did it on the previous quest, but it's worth it. He can always be raised back up just like that, and you can get in there and help finish off these guys. And like I said, in hard mode, this last bit caught me and Mike by surprise. We've been going for like all night, I think, when we've been playing at this point. Well, mind you, we did it in separate parts, but we had been playing for quite a long time, and we were just, I guess, a bit exhausted, and we got to this point and we lost on the last fight, and it was so annoying because we had to do it all again. Anyway, Yonghei says this is not good. Why would the Ministry do this? The Angchu helped us. So now that's like our first example of a direct conflict between the Imperial Guard and the Ministry of Purity. And we say because the Ministry of Purity isn't the infallible entity they would have you believe they are. We have to report this to Minister Reiko, to the Emperor himself. Yeah, how about we actually get the Emperor involved? I remember this as well. This is the end of part 2, right? I thought we were going to actually speak to the Emperor, but in part 3, but no, that doesn't happen. They likely got their orders from Minister Reiko herself. And Yonghei says, and the Ministry of Purity is growing too powerful. It has the people on their side. If the Emperor were to go against them now, it would lead to endless civil war. Well, we must do something. That Tengu saved our lives. We owe it to him. There has to be something we can do. I like how the rest of the Angchu survived. That's cool. And we say, there is something you can do. Tell the people what you saw here today. Tell them of Ryun's sacrifice, of the Angchu's bravery. See, all the Ministry are going to see now is that they sent some people to save the town, and either the Sansali killed them all, or even worse, the Angchu and the Imperial Guard killed them all. So it's just not good either way. Every single one of these escalations every single one of these conflicts, just escalates it further. Show them that this path, the Ministry of Purity's path, will lead them to a darkness from which they may never escape. We all will. We will never forget this day. So at least we've got these guys at Sumai Village on our side. Also, I never mentioned yet, but I quite like this quest because it's another throwback to the to early factions, where one of the original quests was defending Sumai Village, and I've talked about that before and how I used to do kind of a dye farm with that. And yeah, sadly, Rylan is deaf. There's your other reason why he's out here. He follows the same rule that all big characters do when they die. In that they will never appear in an outpost. So that's one of the main reason why they put him there rather than, out in Saitang Harbour or whatever. So yeah, we'll go back, we'll speak to Saw and see what she has to say about all of that, and that will conclude part 2 of the Winds of Change, sort of, because we're still obviously going to be doing the side quests. And yeah, on the walk there, just very quickly, I won't force you to watch the whole walk there, but I was talking about this partner thing. Yeah, these guys are kind of with Machinima, I think, but like I wouldn't be going to Machinima for the support or all the different stuff you have to work with. It seems like a big headache. This is one of the reasons why I don't really care about it. But yeah, they were. I was talking to them and I said, well, look, I'm not going to lie. I've heard bad things about Machinima. I've heard this, and this. I've heard that if you sign a contract with them, you can never leave it, and they have the rights to all the content that you put on your channel, and they can take stuff down however they wish to, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, the guy kind of addressed some of my points that I raised, but others he was like, don't worry about it. I think... See, the way it works, and I wasn't very clear about this before, the way it works is YouTube lets certain companies sort of handle advertisements on their website, and like one of these companies is like Machinima or whatever, and or like the game station and stuff, and those companies sort out all the adverts. They sort out how long they are, and I think it depends on who you partner with, but that depends on how much control you get over your channel with the different things you can do with it as a partner. And then the money from those adverts doesn't go to you, it actually goes to the people you're partnered with, and then they just give you a cut. So in essence, these people, all they do is enable adverts on your channel and give you like the extra stuff like thumbnail customization, shit like that, and that's all they do. And then past that, they don't really do much, but then they're entitled to like loads of money that you otherwise are earning because it's all your own effort. And I think with those guys it would be like I would get 70%, but they'd get 30% of everything that I work towards and do just because they enabled it. I don't know whether that's a good deal or what. See, it's just a pain. It's just a real pain. So anyway, I mentioned this the other day on Twitter, and a few people were like, oh, congratulations, blah, blah. And I want to make it clear, I'm not actually, I don't think I'll go with these guys, but it has got me more thinking about this kind of thing. And yeah, it might happen a little bit quicker than I was actually expecting with the channel. I've always kind of said that I don't really want to, because I reckon as soon as you become partnered, you're just kind of one of those people that's on YouTube just because you can be on YouTube for the money rather than for the love of it, and I would never want that to switch for me, which is why I've kind of put it off. Also because it's a massive pain in the arse. But anyway, I did want to mention that. I didn't want to talk about too much crap while we're playing through Guild Wars, because this isn't about Guild Wars. But yeah, just if you did see me talking about that, don't get any wrong ideas, but that's kind of what's going on. Anyway, I'll see you back at Saw, guys. This manted field is so annoying, by the way, because like the other day I just tried to run past them, but I wiped because it is hard mode after all, and it was really annoying. So you have to fight them, but with this build, like I have so little damage in just normal situations, it's just a pain in the ass. Alright, finally, so we can come speak to Saw. I want to say this is the last time you have to do that annoying walk, but I might be wrong. Anyway, so hey Saw, that brave old fool, she says, I underestimated his valour and his wit, but at least we can all have solace in knowing that he died a hero to both our peoples. I hope that his sacrifice shows the Canthan people that the Yangchu are not their enemies, and that we still respect our alliance, despite the Ministry of Purity's crusade against us. It is tragic that Captain Beichi could not see past his race to see the honour in Rylan Greyfeather's actions, and that they both lost their lives due to his ignorance. I wonder if Togo was alive, what he'd have to say about all of this. I thank you, my friend. The whole Yangchu tribe thanks you. I don't know what darkness the future holds for me, but I feel the memory of your kindness to my people shall be a glowing beacon of hope for us in these trying times. Oh, and one last thing. A young assassin was looking for you. She said she would await your arrival in Shenzhen tunnels and asked that I send you her way. That's how part 2 ended. Also, I like the idea that in Guild Wars 2, the only reason, you know, the Tengu do hate, well, not necessarily hate, but they kind of seclude themselves from humans. They don't want to be a part of humans' affairs just because of shit like this happening, right? But I like the idea that eventually when we do get to go inside the Dominion of Winds and communicate with the race, one of the reasons why is because they have like legends or songs or memories of a few kind humans, and the hero from Guild Wars 1 was one of them because of the stuff we're doing right now. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, that's how part 2 ended. Teasing you about the Miku storyline being pushed forward a little bit, and then we had to wait a long time. I think the wait between part 2 and 3 was the longest, and at the same time there was the least content was added for part 3. We're well over halfway now, guys, and part 3 has no secondary quests or anything like that. It's got less quests than part 2 or part 1 had as well. So yeah, we're really kind of coming up on it now. But before we start part 3, as I said, we're going to be looking at dialogue the next few episodes, and we're going to be looking at side quests the next few episodes. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I hope you enjoyed part 2 on the whole. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Or in an hour, as it is for my case, because I'll be filming the next episode in a second. But shh.